Hi guys, welcome to the THQ podcast. So in this episode, what we are going to be talking about is breakfast, the most important meal of the day. Now, there is so many, everyone's got an opinion on breakfast, and the thing is, I think in what the fitness industry is all about extremists. People say, right, no, don't have breakfast, skip breakfast, follow intermittent fasting, or do have breakfast, you've got to start the day well. And again, it all comes down to, if you want to be successful in body transformation and you want to achieve a result that you can maintain forever, you've got to do the work on yourself. Figure out what type of person you are, figure out exactly what works for you. Now, you do need to gather the best information, okay? You do need to understand what sort of foods and what sort of way of eating is going to hit your goals. But to answer the question, like, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? You've got to figure that out. Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Now, there's a couple of things you have to consider. So you have to consider what you've got on for that day and when your next meal is going to be. If you are the type of person that pretty much can eat whenever they want, so they can, if you're at work and you've got access to food whenever, then you could argue that breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day because you haven't really got an ideal time for you to eat. You can just eat when you're hungry. So if you are a person that has literally 2 hours in the morning or an hour in the morning and then they can't eat again till 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then you're going to have to get up early and make sure you have a good breakfast. Because if you can't, unless you can physically go to 1, 2 in the afternoon, and you can be fine with that. But I would say if that's the case, then you need to get up early and have a better breakfast. Now, the type of breakfast, 110% matters. If you have something that doesn't really fill you up, then let's say two scenarios. If you have something that doesn't fill you up, and you're not going to be training till the evening time, and you can't eat till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, your next meal, or you can't even eat till 12 o'clock, and you're up at 7 a.m, then you've got to have to pick a breakfast that, one, makes you feel full, makes you feel satisfied, hits your fitness goals, i.e. gets enough protein intake in, gets enough fibre intake in. If it's going to be a training on later on training day, you probably need to be having carbs in that meal, or maybe if you're a person that has more fats in the meal that you like because it makes you feel full and you're good at moderation, then you probably need to look at adding fats into your meal. But it's all, again, it becomes the type of person that you actually are, whether breakfast is going to be the most important meal of the day. But so person A, if you are going to be not to train until later on in the evening, then you need to have something that's going to fill you up. If you're training in the morning, then you don't need to eat breakfast before you come, maybe a little bit of fruit or something, but then you do need to eat breakfast after you come. But again, if you're the type of person that can pretty much eat whenever they want, then, and even if you are training later on in the evening or in the afternoon, then you can just have a little bit of a snack. But again, it becomes down to preparation. If you've got your next meal prepared, then you can have a little light breakfast because then you can eat when you're hungry. Another scenario is that you're the type of person that doesn't like to prep too much food but relies on going to the shop to get your food. Now, you still need to have them healthy eating habits, and I do not advise this at all. But if you can't be bothered to prep your dinner and you're just going to eat at home, eat your evening meal and eat your breakfast at home, then you need to make sure that you fill yourself up, or you're not that type, you're not the person that sort of cracks and eats rubbish when they're hungry. So this leads me on to a very important point. Now, figuring out when you're okay with being hungry. Now, I don't mean absolutely starving, right? And 9 times out of 10 when we are hungry, we can sort of just keep our mind a little bit active, carry on doing what we're doing, and that hunger passes. Or you can just have a drink of water. There's many different reasons why you might be hungry. But again, it comes down to your actual habits, and it comes down to actually the quality of foods that you're actually choosing to have. But there is going to be points in time when you are going to be hungry. So let me explain it to you, and the best way I can explain it to you is what I do, and you can take away from what I do, and you can sort of make your own decision whether you can fit this. Again, you don't have to do it exactly like me, but this is what I do. So I'm a hungry person in the morning, regardless of when I eat, even if I eat late at night. Even though I'm fortunate enough to be pretty much in the position where I can pretty much eat whenever I want during the day, I still have a very good breakfast because I need to feel full, I need to feel energized, and I'm hungry at that point. So I have a full, good breakfast. Quality proteins, quality fiber, and some carbohydrates generally. So generally, I'll have a steak. So good breakfast that's actually going to fill me up. I'll have some vegetables and I will have some rice with that. That fills me up and it serves me for the day, and it's quite tasty. And if you think we have to eat cereals and we have to eat toast and we have to eat porridge, we don't have to do anything, and they're things that aren't really going to fill us up, and we probably can only not stomach them things in first time in the morning. One, because maybe we're not getting up early enough, giving ourselves time to sort of come around, or that we just sort of think that we have to do the stereotypical of what's right and what's wrong. And to be honest, the stereotypical way of eating these days is not really doing the country too good, because the obesity rates are the highest they've ever been. And I'm not saying that is because of cereals, I'm just sort of pointing out a few facts that I think of when I'm picking a diet that actually suits me. So I'm hungry first thing in the morning, so I make sure that I eat. Generally, in the afternoon, I don't mind having a light lunch, and I don't mind different parts of hunger because I can keep my mind occupied. I can work, I can do whatever, I can maybe train. If I'm training, I probably will make sure I'll have a protein shake or something. Again, even something light, even if I'm training. And then in the evening, I then choose to have a bigger evening meal because I like to feel full in the evening time. So, because it's going to help me sleep, the worst thing I can do is go to bed hungry. If I go to bed hungry, your sort of predator instincts are going to wake you up because your body feels like it needs food. So your sleep is going to be affected. And if your sleep is going to be affected, everything's going to be affected. Your training is going to be affected. Your food choices are going to be affected. So that is my sort of way of looking at it. So yes, for me, breakfast is one of two most important meals of the day because it's something that fuels me, and I don't mind being hungry in the afternoon. I'm never uncontrollably hungry. I can last a few hours without food, and I think a majority of us, if we actually really be honest with ourselves, if we get a little bit hungry, if we just thought about what we was doing for a minute, maybe had a little drink, then focus on something else, we find we're not actually hungry. We're not going to starve to death. So that is my sort of view on, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? For me, yes it is. Guys, hope you have a fantastic day and take care. I also would like to actually point out for the audio is that if you do like these episodes, please subscribe to the podcast and please share them with your friends. And if you leave me a comment or review, I can understand that these are helping people and helping people in the right way. And if there's any more information that you want on THQ, if you're not already a current member, then we do have 6-week programs that do run. So if you want to, feel free to ask me any questions. Just drop me an email at carl@transformationhq.co.uk and I will be happy to answer any questions you've got on the THQ experience. Guys, take care.